Your heart beats over 100,000 times a day, and every one of those beats depends on minerals. Yet most people don't realize how easily modern diets fall short on the very minerals that keep the heart strong, blood pressure steady, and blood vessels flexible. Low magnesium, low potassium, or low iron can silently weaken circulation, increase stress on the heart, and trigger fatigue or palpitations long before symptoms appear. Even sodium and calcium, often misunderstood, play essential roles when kept in the right balance. In this video, you'll learn the top 5 minerals your heart relies on every single day, what each one does inside your body, the signs you may be lacking them, and the best food sources to restore optimal levels. These minerals are simple, accessible, and powerful, yet missing even one can strain your heart more than you think. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only and not medical advice. Magnesium, the relaxation mineral your heart depends on. If there is one mineral your heart begs for every single day, it's magnesium. Yet nearly half of adults don't get enough, and low magnesium quietly tightens blood vessels, raises blood pressure, and makes your heart work harder with every beat. Your heart and blood vessels depend on magnesium to stay relaxed. Without enough of it, arteries stiffen, electrical signals misfire, and muscles throughout the cardiovascular system become tense. This can lead to higher BP, palpitations, chest tightness, and poorer circulation. Magnesium is the mineral that tells your vessels it's safe to open. Inside your body, magnesium supports your heart through 5 major pathways, relaxes blood vessels by regulating calcium flow into smooth muscle cells, and improves endothelial function, helping your arteries respond better to nitric oxide, calms the nervous system, reducing stress-induced BP spikes, stabilizes heart rhythm, preventing electrical misfires, supports ATP production, giving heart cells the energy they need to beat efficiently. Because magnesium is involved in more than 300 biochemical reactions, even a mild deficiency stresses your cardiovascular system. Dr. Insight. Studies published in Hypertension, Circulation, and the Journal of the American Heart Association show that magnesium supplementation can reduce systolic BP by 2 to 5 millimeters of mercury and diastolic BP by 1 to 3 millimeters of mercury, results similar to some mild medications. Harvard researchers also highlight magnesium's ability to improve endothelial function and reduce inflammation inside arteries. Cardiologists often flag low magnesium as a hidden contributor to arrhythmias, muscle cramps, and stubborn high BP. Real-world example. Imagine someone who feels their heart racing during stressful days, wakes up with tight muscles, or gets headaches linked to tension. They begin adding magnesium-rich foods, spinach, almonds, pumpkin seeds, and avocados into their meals. Within weeks, their muscles feel looser, their BP readings become steadier, and their sleep improves. Their heart didn't magically grow stronger. It finally received the mineral it needed to relax properly. Here's a detail almost no one knows. Low magnesium can make your body hold on to sodium, which raises blood pressure. How to apply safely. Food-first magnesium sources include leafy greens, spinach, chard, kale, nuts and seeds, almonds, pumpkin seeds, cashews, legumes, black beans, lentils, chickpeas, whole grains, quinoa, brown rice, oats, avocados, and bananas. Aim for 300 to 400 milligrams per day from food. If considering supplements, stick to magnesium glycinate or magnesium citrate, gentle and absorbable. Start with 100 to 200 milligrams per day, but only with doctor approval if you have kidney issues or take medications. Avoid magnesium oxide, poorly absorbed. Magnesium keeps your vessels relaxed, your BP steadier, and your heart rhythm smooth. It is the foundation mineral for cardiovascular health and the one most people unknowingly lack. Potassium, the electrolyte that balances sodium and protects BP. If magnesium relaxes your blood vessels, potassium is the mineral that defends them. It's the quiet electrolyte that keeps sodium under control, supports smooth heartbeats, and helps maintain healthy blood pressure. Yet most people fall far short of the amount their heart actually needs. The balance between potassium and sodium determines how easily your arteries can open and how hard your heart must work. Too much sodium without enough potassium causes fluid retention, vessel tightening, and higher BP. Potassium does the opposite. It relaxes vessel walls, helps your kidneys remove excess sodium, and stabilizes the electrical signals that control your heartbeat. Without enough potassium, circulation becomes sluggish, BP rises, and your heart has to push against greater resistance. Inside your body, potassium supports cardiovascular health through several powerful mechanisms, reduces sodium's effect, helping your kidneys flush out excess salt, relaxes smooth muscle and artery walls, lowering vascular resistance, improves arterial stiffness, allowing healthier blood flow, supports electrical conduction, helping the heart maintain stable rhythms, balances fluid levels, preventing the swelling and pressure that strain the heart. Potassium is also essential for nitric oxide production and endothelial function, two key contributors to smoother circulation. Dr. Insight. Research from the American Heart Association, Circulation, and Harvard studies shows that increasing potassium-rich foods can reduce systolic BP by 4 to 5 millimeters of mercury, sometimes more in people sensitive to sodium. Doctors frequently recommend potassium from food as one of the most effective, natural BP-lowering strategies. In fact, the DASH diet, widely considered the best diet for hypertension, works largely because it prioritizes potassium-rich foods. Real-world example. Imagine someone who eats relatively healthy but still struggles with bloating, afternoon BP spikes, or a heavy feeling in their legs. They reduce salty foods but don't increase potassium, so the imbalance remains. After adding bananas, avocados, potatoes, beans, and leafy greens to meals, they notice lighter circulation, fewer BP spikes, and improved morning energy. Their hearts didn't change, the electrolyte balance finally did. Here's a surprising fact. Your heart needs at least twice as much potassium as sodium each day, but most diets deliver the opposite ratio. How to apply safely. Food-first potassium is the safest approach. Top sources include bananas, avocados, leafy greens, spinach, Swiss chard, beans and lentils and baked potatoes and sweet potatoes, tomatoes, cantaloupe and oranges, yogurt. Aim for 3,500 to 4,700 milligrams per day from foods, depending on your needs and health status. Safety notes: avoid potassium supplements unless your doctor prescribes them. Too much potassium can be dangerous for people with kidney issues. Increase potassium gradually as you decrease sodium for best BP results. Hydrate well. Water helps potassium do its job. Potassium is one of the most powerful daily tools for maintaining healthy blood pressure and smooth circulation. It keeps sodium balanced, relaxes arteries, and stabilizes your heartbeat, making it essential for a strong, steady cardiovascular system. Calcium, the heartbeat mineral, but only when balanced correctly. Most people think of calcium only as a bone mineral, but here's the surprising truth. Calcium controls every heartbeat you have. Without enough calcium, your heart can't contract properly, but with too much, your arteries can stiffen and blood pressure can rise. Your heart depends on a delicate calcium balance. Calcium triggers the contraction of heart muscle and helps blood vessels tighten and relax at the right moments. When calcium levels fall too low, the heart struggles to beat efficiently. When levels climb too high, especially from supplements, arteries become stiff, calcification increases, and BP rises. The key isn't more calcium, but balanced calcium supported by magnesium, vitamin D, and vitamin K2. Inside your body, calcium regulates cardiovascular function through several critical pathways, controls heart contractions, enabling each heartbeat, supports nerve signaling, allowing electrical impulses to fire properly, works with magnesium to maintain vessel flexibility, magnesium relaxes, calcium contracts, strengthens blood clotting mechanisms, necessary for healing but dangerous if overactivated, influences arterial stiffness. Too much calcium in blood vessels makes them rigid. The heart's electrical rhythm relies on precise calcium movement into and out of cells. Any imbalance can weaken cardiac performance. Dr. Insight. Research from the British Medical Journal, BMJ, Circulation, and Harvard Health shows that excessive calcium supplements may increase the risk of arterial calcification, especially when magnesium and vitamin K2 are low. Doctors now emphasize getting calcium primarily from food, not pills, because food-based calcium is absorbed gradually and directed to bones rather than arteries. Cardiologists warn against high-dose supplements unless medically necessary. Food calcium users do not show the same risk seen in supplement users. Real-world example. Imagine someone who feels heart palpitations, muscle twitches, or irregular beats during stressful days. They also take daily high-dose calcium supplements for bone health. When they switch to food-based calcium, yogurt, sardines, leafy greens, almonds, and pair it with magnesium-rich foods, their heartbeat steadies and vessel tension drops. Their hearts didn't magically improve. Their mineral balance did. Here's the overlooked detail. Calcium only protects your heart when magnesium, vitamin D, and vitamin K2 are present in the right amounts. How to apply safely. Follow these guidelines to support heart health. Prioritize food-based calcium, such as yogurt, sardines with bones, leafy greens, almonds, tofu, broccoli. Aim for 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams per day from food, depending on age and doctor guidance. If using supplements, choose low dose, 200 to 300 milligrams, and split doses to avoid spikes. Always pair calcium with magnesium to prevent stiffness, vitamin D for absorption, vitamin K2 to prevent artery calcification. People with kidney disease should discuss calcium intake with their doctor. Calcium is essential for a strong heartbeat and healthy circulation, but only when in balance with magnesium, potassium, vitamin D, and vitamin K2. Food sources are protective, while excess supplements can harm vessels. Calcium should strengthen your heart, not burden it. Sodium, the misunderstood mineral. Your heart needs in the right amount. Sodium is often treated like the villain of heart health, but here's the real story. Your heart needs sodium every single day to function. The problem isn't sodium itself, it's an imbalance. Sodium helps control fluid balance, nerve impulses, and muscle contraction, including the contraction of your heart. Without enough sodium, your blood pressure can crash, your heartbeat becomes irregular, and your muscles weaken. But too much sodium stiffens blood vessels, causes fluid retention, and raises BP. The heart's success depends on getting sodium in the right amount and pairing it with potassium and magnesium. Inside your body, sodium affects your cardiovascular system in several crucial ways. Regulates fluid balance, helping maintain blood volume. Supports nerve conduction, allowing heartbeats to fire correctly. Influences muscle contraction, including the heart muscle. Helps kidneys maintain electrolyte balance, preventing dangerous fluctuations. Works with potassium to keep blood pressure stable. The issue arises when sodium intake far exceeds potassium, the imbalance that drives high BP in most modern diets. Doctor Insight. Research from the American Heart Association, Hypertension, and Harvard Health confirms that sodium is essential, but excessive intake increases BP, vessel stiffness, and risk of heart failure. Yet cardiologists also warn that very low sodium can be dangerous, causing dizziness, confusion, irregular heartbeat, and hormonal imbalance. The ideal range isn't zero, it's balance. Doctors increasingly focus on the sodium-to-potassium ratio, not just sodium itself. Diets high in potassium, fruits, vegetables, legumes, reduce sodium's harmful effects dramatically. Real-world example. Imagine someone who tries to improve their BP by cutting salt drastically. They suddenly feel weak, dizzy, and exhausted. Why? Their sodium level dropped too low, disrupting nerve and muscle function. On the opposite end, another person frequently eats restaurant meals, packaged snacks, and salty nuts. Their BP rises from constant vessel tightening. When both individuals shift to balanced sodium levels and increased potassium, their energy stabilizes and BP improves. The issue wasn't sodium alone, it was the ratio. Here's what surprises most people. Over 70% of your daily sodium doesn't come from your salt shaker. It comes from packaged and restaurant foods. How to apply safely. A heart-healthy sodium routine focuses on balance, not elimination. Aim for 1,500 to 2,300 milligrams per day, depending on your doctor's guidance. Increase potassium-rich foods, bananas, spinach, beans, potatoes, to balance sodium's effects. Avoid hidden sodium sources like canned soups, frozen meals, packaged snacks, salted nuts, restaurant sauces. Cook at home more often. Even moderate salt is safe when balanced with whole foods. Hydrate well. Water helps kidneys process sodium efficiently. People with kidney disease, heart failure, or hypertension should follow personalized sodium limits from their healthcare provider. Sodium isn't the enemy, imbalance is. Your heart needs sodium daily for proper muscle contraction, nerve firing, and fluid control. But too much, especially from processed foods, stiffens arteries and raises BP. The safest path is simple: moderate sodium, high potassium, and whole foods. Iron, the oxygen carrier that keeps your heart from overworking. If you often feel tired, lightheaded, or notice your heart beating faster than usual, the problem might not be your heart. It might be your iron levels. Iron is the mineral that carries oxygen to every cell in your body, and when you don't have enough, your heart is forced to work harder to keep you going. Your heart pumps oxygen-rich blood through your entire system, but if iron levels are low, your red blood cells can't carry enough oxygen. This means your heart must beat faster and harder to compensate. Over time, this can cause palpitations, fatigue, shortness of breath, dizziness, and increased strain on the heart muscle. Iron deficiency is extremely common, especially in women, older adults, and people who avoid iron-rich foods. Inside your body, iron supports your heart in circulation through several essential mechanisms. Creates hemoglobin, the protein that carries oxygen in red blood cells. Delivers oxygen to the heart muscle itself so it can beat efficiently. Supports mitochondrial energy, helping cells function without stress. Reduces heart workload, preventing tachycardia, rapid heartbeat. Maintains temperature regulation, reducing cold hands and feet. When iron is low, your heart essentially enters overdrive mode, leading to strain you may not feel immediately, but that adds up over time. Dr. Insight. Studies published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, Circulation, and Heart show that iron deficiency, even mild deficiency, is linked to worsened heart function, reduced exercise tolerance, and higher risk of heart failure progression. Doctors increasingly treat iron deficiency as a cardiovascular issue, not just a fatigue issue. Medical experts also stress that iron supplements should never be taken casually, because too much iron can cause oxidative damage to blood vessels. The safest and most effective approach is increasing iron-rich foods and improving absorption through vitamin C. Real-world example. Imagine someone who begins feeling breathless, climbing stairs, or notices their heart pounding at night. They assume it's poor fitness or stress, but blood tests reveal low iron stores. They start adding spinach, beans, lentils, eggs, sardines, and fortified grains into their meals, paired with citrus or bell peppers to boost absorption. Within weeks, their energy rises, dizziness fades, and their heart rate stabilizes. Their heart didn't suddenly get stronger, it finally received the oxygen it needed. Here's something most people never hear. Low iron can raise your resting heart rate by 10 to 20 beats per minute without you noticing. How to apply safely. The safest way to increase iron is through food. Hemi-iron sources, best absorbed. Lean red meat, chicken thighs, turkey, sardines, eggs. Non-heme iron sources, plant-based. Lentils, chickpeas, spinach, pumpkin seeds, quinoa, black beans. Boost absorption by pairing iron with vitamin C, such as citrus fruits, tomatoes, or strawberries. Avoid drinking tea or coffee with iron-rich meals; they reduce absorption. Supplement caution. Take iron supplements only if prescribed or confirmed by lab tests. Too much iron can cause oxidative stress and damage arteries. Iron keeps your heart from overworking by ensuring your blood carries enough oxygen to every cell. When levels drop, your heart strains. But when iron is in balance, circulation improves, energy rises, and your heart works smoothly and efficiently. Zinc, the mineral that supports heart tissue repair and reduces inflammation. Zinc is often talked about for immunity, but here's the truth most people never hear. Your heart needs zinc every single day to repair tissue, reduce inflammation, and keep your blood vessels functioning smoothly. Everyday stress, inflammation, high BP, and environmental toxins create tiny injuries inside your blood vessels. Your body constantly repairs this damage, and zinc is one of the key minerals that makes this repair possible. Without enough zinc, these micro-injuries accumulate, leading to stiff arteries, plaque buildup, and weaker heart muscle function over time. Inside your body, zinc supports cardiovascular health through multiple essential mechanisms. Repairs endothelial tissue, helping blood vessels stay smooth and flexible. Reduces inflammation, lowering oxidative stress inside arteries. Strengthens immune function, limiting chronic low-grade inflammation that harms vessels. Supports nitric oxide activity, improving vessel relaxation and blood flow. Helps regulate cholesterol, reducing oxidation of LDL, a key step in plaque formation. Zinc also plays a role in supporting healthy DNA repair, meaning your arteries can heal more efficiently when zinc levels are optimal. Dr. Insight, studies published in Nutrients, the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, and research from Harvard highlight zinc's role in lowering inflammation, improving endothelial function, and reducing oxidative stress. Zinc deficiency has been linked to higher levels of inflammatory markers like CRP, stiffer arteries, and poorer overall heart function. Doctors note that zinc works especially well when paired with magnesium and omega-3 rich foods, as this trio supports vessel relaxation and tissue repair. Real-world example. Imagine someone experiencing persistent fatigue, weak immunity, slow wound healing, or increased sensitivity to stress. They also notice their BP fluctuates more than usual. After adding zinc-rich foods, pumpkin seeds, eggs, chickpeas, seafood, their energy stabilizes, inflammation markers drop, and their BP becomes smoother. Their vessels didn't magically rejuvenate, they finally received the mineral needed for daily repair. Here's the surprising part. Even mild zinc deficiency can make your arteries age faster by impairing their repair cycle. How to apply safely. Food sources are the safest and most effective way to get zinc. Seafood, especially oysters, shrimp, crab, pumpkin seeds, chickpeas, and lentils. Eggs, nuts and seeds, whole grains, Greek yogurt. Aim for 8 to 11 milligrams per day from food. Supplement guidance. If needed, choose zinc gluconate or zinc picolinate. Stay within 15 to 30 milligrams per day unless medically supervised. Do not take high doses long-term. Too much zinc reduces copper and weakens heart function. Avoid combining zinc with high phytate meals, excessive grains or beans, unless paired with vitamin C. Phytates reduce absorption. Zinc is a behind-the-scenes mineral that repairs blood vessels, lowers inflammation, supports nitric oxide, and protects your arteries from daily stress. When zinc is in balance, your heart stays stronger, healthier, and more resilient. Selenium, the antioxidant mineral that protects heart cells from damage. Selenium is one of the most overlooked heart minerals, yet it acts like a microscopic shield inside your arteries. Even small daily amounts can dramatically reduce the oxidative stress that weakens vessels and accelerates aging. Every day, your heart and blood vessels face damage from inflammation, high blood sugar, stress hormones, and environmental toxins. Selenium helps neutralize this damage. Without enough selenium, your arteries become more vulnerable to oxidative stress, your heart muscle works harder, and inflammation rises. Too little can weaken your antioxidant defenses, but too much can be harmful, which is why balance is everything. Inside your body, selenium supports your cardiovascular system through several essential pathways. Boosts glutathione, your body's master antioxidant that protects heart cells. Reduces arterial inflammation, preventing vessel stiffness. Protects endothelial cells from oxidative damage. Supports thyroid health, which influences heart rate and metabolism. Works with vitamin E to keep artery walls healthy and resilient. Low selenium levels have been linked to higher rates of heart failure, poor vessel elasticity, and higher oxidative stress. Dr. Insight. Studies from the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition, the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, and Harvard Research show selenium's role in reducing inflammation markers like CRP and improving overall antioxidant status. Doctors often emphasize selenium for people with chronic inflammation, metabolic issues, or thyroid imbalances because these conditions increase oxidative stress on the heart. But medical experts strongly warn against high-dose supplements. Selenium has a narrow safe range. Real-world example. Imagine someone dealing with chronic fatigue, brittle nails, slower metabolism, or unexplained inflammation. After adding selenium-rich foods like Brazil nuts, eggs, sardines, or sunflower seeds, they feel more energetic and their BP readings become smoother. Their antioxidant defenses finally start working as intended. How to apply safely. The body needs 55 micrograms per day. Best food sources, 1 Brazil nut per day, not more. Eggs, sardines, and tuna. Sunflower seeds, mushrooms. Avoid supplements unless prescribed. Too much selenium is harmful. Selenium is a powerful antioxidant mineral that protects your heart and arteries from daily oxidative stress, but only when consumed in tiny, consistent amounts. A one-day mineral routine for a strong heart. Your heart relies on minerals every hour of the day, not just during meals. When you spread magnesium, potassium, calcium, sodium, iron, zinc, and selenium evenly across the day, your blood pressure stays steadier, your circulation becomes smoother, and your heart beats with less effort. This simple mineral timing routine helps your heart stay strong from morning to night. Mornings start with minerals that relax vessels and stabilize. BP. Morning is when blood vessels tend to be tight, hydration is low, and BP is naturally higher. Your first goal, relax arteries and restore electrolyte balance. Start your day with magnesium plus potassium. Magnesium relaxes blood vessels. Potassium balances sodium and supports fluid control. A perfect breakfast includes spinach or Swiss chard, magnesium plus potassium, banana or avocado, oatmeal topped with almonds or pumpkin seeds, yogurt with berries for antioxidant support. If you drink coffee, pair it with a potassium-rich fruit to prevent dehydration-related BP spikes. This mineral pairing gently opens your vessels for the day ahead. Midday, supports circulation, oxygen delivery, and heart rhythm. As the day intensifies, so does your heart's demand for minerals. The midday meal should focus on calcium plus iron, which work together to support steady heartbeats, better oxygen delivery, and consistent energy. A heart-healthy lunch may include salmon, sardines, lentils, or beans, iron, leafy greens, broccoli, tofu, or yogurt, calcium, tomatoes, citrus, or bell peppers to boost iron absorption. Avoid drinking tea or coffee with your iron-rich meal. They reduce absorption. Drink them an hour later instead. This combination prevents afternoon fatigue, reduces heart strain, and helps maintain smooth electrical signaling in your heart muscle. Afternoon, balance electrolytes to prevent BP spikes. The afternoon is a common time for BP to rise due to stress, sitting, and dehydration. This is where mineral balance matters most. Support this window with a potassium-rich snack, orange, kiwi, or baked potato leftovers, a handful of pistachios or pumpkin seeds for magnesium and zinc, water with a pinch of natural salt if you feel lightheaded, important for those who unintentionally underconsume sodium. This prevents the tightening of blood vessels that often occurs between 2 and 6 p.m. and helps stabilize your mood, heart rhythm, and BP. Evening, provide anti-inflammatory minerals for recovery. Evening is when your heart begins its repair phase. The goal is to reduce inflammation and support vessel recovery overnight. Include foods rich in magnesium, spinach, quinoa, zinc, chickpeas, eggs, pumpkin seeds, selenium, 1 Brazil nut, or eggs/fish if preferred. Pair with a warm, magnesium-rich herbal tea, ginger, chamomile, or lemon water to support relaxation and smoother nighttime blood flow. Avoid heavy sodium at night as it contributes to morning BP spikes. Night, calm the heart and prepare for rest. Before bed, hydrate lightly and focus on restoring mineral balance. A small cup of warm milk with cinnamon for calcium plus blood sugar control, or magnesium-rich tea to calm vessel tension. Good sleep helps regulate hormones that control mineral balance and blood pressure. A strong heart doesn't need extreme diets. It needs the right minerals, spaced across the day. Morning potassium and magnesium, midday calcium and iron, afternoon electrolytes, and evening restorative minerals create a powerful daily rhythm that keeps your heart resilient and steady. Conclusion. Your heart relies on minerals more than most people realize. Magnesium keeps your vessels relaxed, potassium balances sodium, calcium supports steady heartbeats, iron delivers oxygen, and zinc repairs daily damage. Even selenium in tiny amounts strengthens your antioxidant defenses. When these minerals are consistently present in your meals, your blood pressure becomes steadier, your circulation smoother, and your heart works with less stress. You don't need supplements or complicated routines, just simple mineral-rich foods spread across the day. Small daily choices add up, and your heart feels the difference long before you notice it. If this video helped you, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only and not medical advice. Thanks for watching.